Hello everybody, welcome back to another video or stream. Yeah, woo! I suppose it's always a video because the people that actually hear the intro are going to be the ones watching. So, hello, people watching after the stream. I actually saw we got a couple more followers um, from probably the VODs, so I appreciate that. Thank you. Alright, so after my extremely bad losses yesterday, for those of you, maybe some of you know, but whenever I lose that bad, my frustration turns into me trying to figure out what I can do to possibly win. So I spent a whole bunch of time trying to play around with uh, just kind of like playing the numbers, going through a whole bunch of the general archetypes in the game, figuring out which ones could work, which ones really can't work. I think I'm going to make a write-up about it at some point and throw it in the comp feedback thread on the main Discord, but I don't have it written eloquently enough for that yet. It's all just kind of jumbled ideas. But in general, a lot of the typical archetypes, I have not been able to see how it can beat the current meta of perfect balance between HP, speed, and damage, where every offensive Tem can live a reasonable, super effective hit, be faster than you, and still deal enough damage to kill you, especially with type advantage. So the only thing that I was able to come up with that I really want to try is, you may notice I said reasonable damage interval, because there's some things that are so strong it's not worth calking for. Stuff like Specmaster Inky Thunderstrike, or Rested Zyzer with Iron Coating. Some of you may know those are like the highest single, like turn one damage possibilities in the game, some of them. So what I did is I put a whole bunch of them on a team. I did do the team building beforehand. I realized sometimes the team building gets long and there's not always a whole lot of interest in it, but I'm going to go through kind of my thought process with the team so that you guys still kind of understand where I was going with it. So yeah, here's the Zyzer and Inky, as I mentioned. Just and lots of damage, lots of speed. I really don't have a lot of experience playing this archetype, typically called hyper aggro. So we're gonna see how it goes. Might be a bit of a learning curve for me, and I'm not even sure if it's gonna work. The whole idea is to double in and be able to kill stuff turn one before they get holds off, even through neutral damage if you don't have type advantage, and that's kind of the goal. Outspeed and defeat our opponents before they even get to move. So yeah, really high speed and special attack on Inky. It has pan sunscreen, so it has a better matchup into Tolkien and Mastion. Zyzer, I actually am opting for a gravel bag set on here with speed. It's kind of a joke, but we're gonna give it a try. Essentially, this whole team is really fast, and then Zyzer is like one of the bottom three like Tems as far as speed goes in the game. So it would be really weird speed tiering, so I put some speed in it and threw gravel bag on it so it can have faster soil steams, and it can actually get a piercing wheel off before Orphill, which I'll talk about. And so you can have like a piercing wheel if it has the rested bonus, plus a physical hit from like Orphill here, could probably one-shot just about anything. So another thing I really like about this team is I get to use Orphill, another pre-evolution, something I've been kind of playing around with for the last couple of weeks. With Toxic Affinity, Orphill actually, its toxic moves do 2.25 times more damage because of stab plus the additional boost. So Noxious Bomb here effectively has a BP of 225, which is kind of nuts. Orphill also has really high speed or really high attack, and it actually has higher speed than its evolution Nidrasil. I put just enough HP in it so it can live a Feather Gatling from a 2-Vine, which is something I could definitely run into. And then Hypno's just because fast and it's an option. I might swap it for Toxic Fang later. But the reason I have Toxic Ink is because it actually combos also with Chromion, because Chromion Usually Toxic Chromions are Pigment Inverter, because Toxic as an offensive type is pretty bad. It usually does lots of its damage to Toxic ticks, but it has Venom Spread. A really strong move, 150 damage. So I have a slower Chromion, so I can turn one Toxic Ink into Venom Spread onto an opponent, get the really high damage from Toxic Ink plus a Toxic Ticks into a Sinner type or Venom Spread from Chromion, and I think that is going to be nuts. I think it's going to be really fun to try, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. And we'll switch stuff around. 2-Wire also kind of fits in the core. 2-Wire outspeeds Chromion and can get a Faraday Cage off. It'll be Synergy Faraday, so it'll toxic or poison the opponent, and Chromion can also Venom Spread off of it, and it still gets Sinner Typer because 2-Wire is a digital type. Also, the Common Factor really helps with Zyzare. It's kind of a known combo, Rested Zyzare and Common Factor 2-Wire. Shellant is to combo better with Inky, because offering it Welcomer, or really for any bad matchup, I can just throw Shellant with Welcomer and then all of a sudden get a big advantage. And also has Morale Boosting Whip. I think it's going to be one of the best support gears we see now. And then Haito, because turn 2, anything it outspeeds can be put to sleep. And the Kesugatame just has sleep control, or speed control, and also trap, which is really nice. Monko, Soul Shout, Shaolin plus Sensei Robe is one of the highest damage turn 1s again, so wanted to just have that as an option, especially since this core is pretty weak to Earth and Crystal. And then Venmet, Aggressor, Base Jump with Res Badge turn 1 is also insanely high damage. Alright. That was a lot of talking, and we already lost a viewer or two, but thanks for those of you stuck with. Some people really enjoy that, others not so much. We're just going to kind of queue up and see how it goes. And then I realized yesterday, after full oddsing for no reason at all, that I could just level some stuff up in between matches. Still leave something in the background. Alright. Now, type chart on this team is actually way worse than I normally prefer. Ooh, this should be fun. Because I've actually got like a quad digi-weakness. 2-Wire doesn't really count. But because I have 2-Wire and Shellant, it creates the space I need to lay around it. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly how my type chart's going to work out, knowing what's a good priority ban. I want to try the Chromion shenanigans, so I'm going to ban a Toxic. It's like I have a whole bunch of like really high damage options. I think I have the favorable matchup here. But we'll see how it goes. I really just want to see Toxic Ink plus Venom Spread destroy something. That would make my day. Even if we lose horribly, like, I get to use Orphle, I get to use Toxic Chromion. I'd say the most meta thing on this team is probably Shellant, but I noticed after all the games we've played, we've hardly seen any Shellants. I thought it was going to kind of take over the meta after it got Haito, but we haven't seen it yet. Maybe people are still experimenting, but the patch has already been out like over a week, so we'll kind of see how it goes. Okay. Let me hover over some other stuff, like Temtem, make him think, oh, maybe he'll pick something else. And then I'll just pick the Chromion anyways. There we go. Alright, 2-Wire gets banned. So I gotta assume that this is Guardian, which also kind of throws a wrench in my plans, because he's got Anatan, which can resist the Toxic, Nidrasil, which is immune to the ticks, and Shween, which can prevent ticks. But most Toxic Chromions are PI, so he probably thinks it's going to be going into the Cowrin slot. We'll just have to see. We're going to play around and see how it goes. Gonna ban Nidrasil. It takes out one of his healers. Also the other toxic type that would be completely immune to my plan. And also the crystals, I still have multiple melees left to deal with. Munko's going to be really good here. There's no mentals, so Venmet's pretty free. And I want to pick Inky, but if I do, then he's for sure going to pick Anatan. But we're going to do it anyways. Oh, I stand corrected. I guess Mucus Babua also resists electric, so it still gets a lot of value that way. Alright. Marbles, just for some chip damage. Makes rounding kills easier. War Drum, just to make Orpheal do even more damage. Now, as long as he doesn't swap Kaurin for Shween, this will be a good turn for me. Well, this sucks. Why? Whatever. That's so sad. Well, he attacks the Chromion. It's a bulky Chromion though, so we're good. We're good for now. But the Fat Burner Shween, so I gotta watch out a little bit. Chances are, like, if he Fluid Barriered himself, I would not be able to combo him like that. So I'm doubling into the Yowler here, instead trying to just kill that. No, I don't think it's going to be enough. Yeah, no, not enough, but still really good damage. And I'm taking out the Yowler, which is one of the things that could eat the hits that I had later on for it. And I still have Orpheal, like, full health and for the Babua later. I'm just gonna use... Well, Nox Bomb kills for sure. Might even be worth swapping Chromion here. Because... Let's see. I'd be a decent swap for Venmet. Shween's a lot less scary now that it doesn't have Deluge. Ooh, interesting. What are we gonna see? Kaurin, okay. It is faster. Worth noting. I now wish I would have attacked the Shween instead, but we're still alright. Problem is Kaurin has Scavenger, more than likely. So it can very easily heal as I kill stuff. However, he doesn't really have any swap-ins here to eat the Sharp Leaf and Uppercut. I'll probably swap out Orpheal after this turn, just so I can get some stamina back. I have 0 stamina invest on this Orpheal, but its moves are so cheap that it doesn't really need any. Like, it's been on the field for, well, it will have been 4 turns. Also, I'm not sure what offensive move this Kaurin would be packing, but Venmet is not really in danger. I don't think Orpheal is much either. Well, Orpheal definitely isn't, and Venmet really shouldn't be either. Because a 0 invest Stone Ball should not do a whole lot of damage. We just see the Shween swap for Babua. Interesting. I guess he was expecting the Orpheal to swap that turn, which is fair, but I did not. He gets a stone wall off. I do take a pretty decent OX here, but like I said, I'm not worried about Cowrin at all. At this moment. It is getting its defenses up, but if I can just get like a full health Monko up against it eventually, then there's nothing to worry about. The only thing he really has to eat a Nox Bomb is... he could just let Yowler die. He could swap in Pig. But either way, I think I'm just pretty safe using Uppercut here. He does let Yowler die. It's a fair option. I do get the Uppercut off on Cowrin then, which is good for me. We'll get to see if this Cowrin for sure is Scavenger or not, which is good info. It looks like it is, based on the way that the screen moves. Or lack of moving, I should say. And that does not very much. It actually has Reactive Vial, which is interesting. Cowrin has Roar, hurts my Venmed. It's actually back to back to base attack now. And my Orphle is also lower. I think it's a decent turn for a double swap. We'll see what he does here. More than likely attacks something. I probably should have swapped in the opposite order, but we'll see if it ended up being a good play. Yeah, no, I should have swapped the other way. Then it ended up being really bad. So because my Chromion's so slow and I have Rotten Goo, I actually don't like this at all. But we can hopefully scare off the Baboa and get a... No, he swaps the Cowrin into the Schween. He keeps the Baboa in, calls my bluff. That's a very good play. He can now take out Monko, which was one of my better answers to deal with Cowrin, and I might actually lose. Yeah. I needed to swap Chromion in to eat the Toxic Slime instead of the Monko. Oh, but I used Binary Flood, and now Toxic Slime isn't super effective, so maybe. Oh, he uses Drool on himself. Okay. He actually pushes off the Seas then. But Monko's still alive, so I still have a couple options. You see Cowrin swap back in. You know, I did consider reset on Monko, and I really wish I put it on. Alright, well, we're just gonna kind of click some buttons here. I want to save Monko for later, if at all possible. So we're gonna just have the double Toxic board. Orphle eats that just fine. 4x resist, get a Rotten Goo, and finish off the Baboa. We'll see what the Cowrin does. Dawnball's the Chromion. He does get more Scavengers, so he's back up to full health. Okay. So I have Inky here, and the Pigapek is forced to be on the field. I'm going to Hypno the Cowrin. And hope that Orphle can live whatever wind move this Pigapek's packing. Normally they run Debris Typhoon, and they also normally don't have any offensive invest. So I think Orphle can actually live. It'd be very important if it can. It does. I'm going to DC beam. I mean, DC beam definitely kills. Could make the safe play and not do that, swap in something else, but I'm going to just save a little stamina. There we go. Pig goes down. Venmet's now -2 defense, which does hurt, but it does have +1 attack. Inky doesn't mind taking the Fainted Curse because it's going to die in 1 Stone Ball anyways. And he forfeits because he does not have the stamina to win this endgame. So GG's. Starting the day off with a win, always a good sign. And we'll jump right back in. Anyone wondering about my leveling setup? No, I do not have double Sandby. The Sandby I actually have that's like a pro team Sandby was a support one with HP and speed. I get to face Funky How now. This should be fun. He wrecked me twice yesterday, and he's a really good player. So we'll see if I can pull it back today. Okay. I'm looking at the team. And it might even be like a ban the Volphy and then pick Shaolant and Inky game. There's not a whole lot I see that he has against that, even though I really want to lead the Werfil and Chromion again. I don't think that's the best option. The reason I have to ban Volphy is because Sludge Gift is faster than Inky, and it one-shots it. And if he picks anything on his team with Prio that's faster, then that would be really bad. So something like Hedgen, if he picked Hedgen Volphy, his Hedgen could have used anything on Inky, break the evasion, and then Sludge Gift would kill Inky. And while Shaolant would get a free... While it would get a free hit on Volphy, it's hard to justify. I think I'm banning the Tulkin now. If that opens up my Toxics a bit more. I have to really be careful around this Hedgen. Chances are he's swapping it out turn 1, probably for his Nesla or even the Amphitheater. We'll have to see. There's a Mental and a Digi, both of which are strong against my last 2 Tems. He's pretty specially based though. And if he saves the Hedgen, I think that my Venmet can live 1 microwaves from the Hedgen. And it can really hurt it back. So we're gonna try picking the Venmet instead. The Venmet. Okay. Hello, Kip. Welcome. We're facing Funky again. Apparently this is the time he plays. Revenge on Funky? I don't know. This could definitely go either way. He's going to swap the Amphitheater into one of these 2 slots, and I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't have any idea. I want to Soul Shout the Hedgen and T-Strike the Sandby. Because after the Soul Shout, the Hedgen should be in range to DC Beam, and even though Inky takes a hit from the Hellfire, I think it would be okay. I have Pan Sunscreen, I can live, and being able to take out the Hedgen, if that's the case, would be fantastic. He does swap the Hedgen, saving it for later. And the Amphitheater comes in. No surprises. That does very little damage. Must be a super bulky Amphitheater. I'm sure the Sambi lives this too. Sambi is incredibly bulky. However, I did calc my Shellant to live a Sambi Matter teleport, so we're good there. The only reason I would keep Shellant alive at this point is for help against Momo. The problem is Valash right now. Valash is the problem. Because I would like to swap in Orphil to eat the Amphitheater hit, but then Valash comes in and I have nothing I can do against it. Alright, well, that's okay. I don't think I swapped, right? I did not. My Invigorized is gone, but that's pretty okay, because I was actually getting rid of it this turn anyways with Bright Beam. I believe this kills the Sambi. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Yup, it does not. That's fine. Sambi more than likely just uses Rush. Interesting, we actually see Sambi swap for Momo. Not what I was expecting. I would have expected him to just click Rush to get to break the evasion on Inky, but I guess he's just sacking both his Tems anyways. Is this still going alright? Good thing you didn't get the hold off on Hedgen? Yeah, very good. Here's the Valash. He actually has to attack the Shellant here. But this is still pretty bad for me because something has to take a hit from Momo. I think I have to stack some health on Orphil. And by some health, I mean all of it. Kinda wish I saved the Kesagatame, but Shellant would have just died to Amphitheater then, so didn't really matter. Orphil does live because he went for the Undermine over the knockback. But that just means Valash is in range to die to... Or Orphil's in range to die to Valash. And there we see it. No surprises. Orphil really wasn't doing anything for me this game. Alright. It's gonna be a really close endgame. I'm not sure if I have it. Ah. I almost microwaved that slot. Not that it really would have mattered. On the Valash death, we're probably just going to see Sanby come in to rush and Hellfire the Inky. Just to make sure that it dies. Nope, we see the Momo. Interesting. Not what I was expecting at all. I do have Bright Beam up. So I'm basically taking a risk of... Do I think he's going to swap the Hedgen and sack the Sambi? In which case I'd want to Bright Beam? Or is he going to keep the Hedgen in and Hellfire and hope to get the kill on Inky? Which I don't think he ever gets the kill on Inky. Oh, it does! Even through the pan sunscreen. That's unfortunate. If I lived, I would have had the game. Well, maybe not actually, because... That's interesting. I wonder if that Hedgen stacks speed. I feel like... It had to be max special attack so that it killed with Hellfire. I'm just gonna do some damage calcs quick. I'm curious because I think we're gonna end up with that matchup more than just once tonight. So, or this morning, I guess. Do. Hellfire. So that does max special attack Hedgen does 76%. I don't know what percent I was at, but it had to be really close to that. And then now I'm curious about the Chromion. Do. Yeah, so it actually has a zero bulk Hedgen. It's just the Chromion's weak without Center Typer. So unfortunate. GG's. Oh, we got some messages from Reiner, but I lagging. I think he was at 229 HP. Let's see. Yeah, that was... Two percent off. I was 2% health off, which is like 6 health, I guess. So crazy close. Debatably, hello, yes, incredibly close. And another quick match. On Snow. Alright. Pretty interesting team here. It's got kind of Shaolan combos, possibly with a Heat Up, a Hook, and a Rage. He bans my Shaoland. So if I just ban his Hazrat, and then just lead Orphil Chromion, we're going to see what happens. Because I still want to try that combo more. I want to kind of limit test with it. And then once I learn better what its limits are, if it can only be used against squishier Tems, I want to see how it works against Volphy specifically. And then we'll kind of go from there and figure things out. I still keep forgetting. I want to switch Rotten Goo for... I really want to switch Rotten Goo for... Shoot. Rotten Goo for Brain Lag. Toxic Torrent, yes, thank you. Yeah, I always forget the name of that one, because the Quacious have streams, and the Chromions have torrents. Even though it's really weak, I still think it would help. I really don't want to be forced to bring Zyzar into this matchup. If this is a spreader 2Kai, I'm not liking how things are going. I can one-shot the 2Kai with Inky, but... that's not gonna be... like, that 2Kai is not gonna stay on that board. Yeah, Sambi's the better play for him. So Inky's really good against 2 Tems and really bad against 3. My Toxic Tem lead here, I think, is pretty much fine against everything except the 2Kai. If it's a max speed Shellance, it'll actually outspeed my Orphil and be bad as well. If he swaps in Chimerian and it has bait or something, that could be really bad. Swaps in Osakai to eat the double toxic hit, that would be bad. I could swap in Inky here and just hope he doesn't soul shout one of the slots. Like, I don't actually need Orphil for anything beyond this, so I think even though I really want to limit test, I'm afraid of an Osakai swap. And so I'm going to Nox Bomb, and I'm going to swap to Inky. Looks like he stays in. It was a spreader. Hand fan spreader. Soul shout the Orphil, please. Yeah, I mean, the Toxic Ink Venom spread combo would have killed that Shellant 100%. Alright, it's a really free Monko swap in now. He can swap in Chimerian, but then I have Soul Shout as an option against it. Monko's really good into the rest of his team, so is Chromion. Chromion is just really slow for the cheese. It's hard to say if the cheese is worth it. If I had old morale boosting whip, I think it definitely would be. But having to sack so much speed on Chromion just so I can underspeed my own Tems is kind of rough. Like, Chromion's literally the slowest Tem on my team. My Zyzar is faster than it. Really? We see the Chimerian into that slot. Not what I was expecting. Okay, that's good. I was debating on DC beaming the Tukai just to make sure it died, but glad I didn't have to think about it. A Glass Blade from Chimerian would hurt, but it's not. I'm not in kill range or anything. Okay, with Osakai I would be in kill range. Shim is faster than Inky though. I mean, it's not going to be a max speed Shim. No. I guess even base speed Chimerian's like 203. I'd like to save Inky for Sanby. And Venmet doesn't have a whole lot of good boards left, so I'm gonna swap it in to eat the hits here. He did swap for Sanby. I was really hoping he wouldn't, because I could have very easily microwaves the Osakai and then still be in a good spot. Still quite a bit of damage, honestly. Now Sanby has Transient. Unless it's 0 speed, it'll outspeed me and hit something. Gonna get some damage on Osakai. With any luck, he'll predict me to swap. Yeah, nope, not happening. Rip Venmet. Reactive Vial. Okay. So I need the T-Strike to kill Osakai. I think that's reasonable. Marian's still sitting in the back though, so I may have already lost. Yeah. Yeah, he's making really good plays. Should have bright beamed. I didn't know how close it would be. It's also got some amount of speed invest actually. Sambies don't usually run that. Oh, I need the harmful plus quartz to kill this Chimerian, and I'm really not sure if it will. I guess I could have bright beamed this turn. Definitely does kill. No, it doesn't. It does not kill. It's a very bulky Chimerian. Oh, it does! That's so weird. I really would have expected Quartz Dirt from my Inky with Specmaster to kill. Well... Huh. on the raw Chromion damage. I didn't do much earlier. I was just basing it off that. I really don't run Chromion often. Why would you ever run this thing PI? Look at that, tanky Chromion, new meta. OP, OP. And GG's. Alright, I mean, still learning. It's probably, I mean, I am getting a little bit of an advantage off of best of one, because it's not often that people would expect Toxic Chromion to be Sinner Typer. I think Vetmet's bad on the team. I mean, I haven't even used Zyzare once either. Like these two could definitely go and swap for something else. I agree. Venmet, even with all the speed invest I have, is still just too slow. If it could get Ninja off hold like easier, it would be better. Sinister gear choices. I mean, the only ones that are really weird is just the adrenaline shot, so I can save on stamina here without picking fake beards, so people can push off the status easier. And gravel bag, just so I can run a bit of a faster Zyzare. I'm not really sure what I'd put in these last two slots, though. I guess not that I really feel like I need Zyzare's type chart, like the earth coverage or anything. Venmat's just like raw aggressor damage, but that's kind of what the whole team does already. So maybe it would be better to instead So maybe it would be better instead to drop these two and have like a secondary win condition almost. Something just in case the opponent has optimally I figure out what the core of 6 is really weak to, and then I use these last two slots to cover for that weakness. So I think for now, like that's kind of how I run my teams. I pick one sort of theme, I just throw everything involving that theme together, figure out which ones feel best, which ones feel bad, and what counters it. Then I can switch out the stuff that feels bad for something that helps against the counters, and I'm solving two problems at once. Mimit and Mooflank, Mooflank isn't that strong. It's got like, what, 67, 70 something base attack? Venmet's got like 80 plus aggressor. Bottoms looks good in there. Yeah. Guess I could run like Schweinshorn Saipat. That's got to be one of the highest single damage intervals, turn 1. Morning, Millie. Saipat's super good. Yeah, I do like Saipat. Jutsu came to mind for guaranteed show-offs with Shellland. Yeah, that's a really good strategy if I was playing a slower team. If I was to play Tutsu, I would have it so I can rest turn 1 and get Contemplation boost. Because then I also get speed, instead of just the attack boost. But the whole goal is to deal a lot of damage turn 1, essentially. What I want to do is be able to double in and kill something every turn. Which is really, really, really hard to do, and sometimes it's straight up impossible. But depending on what times I'm facing and how my opponents spread. So. So that's why I'm kind of testing stuff. I mean, I've already got 2 wins, so it's not like it's awful. The last team was somewhat close to a meta team. Had stuff like Tolkien, Chimerian. Guess I forgot what else. Another electric week. Yeah, I know, and if I got rid of Zyzer, I would be getting rid of my electric counters. So, I mean, I was thinking about putting Channeler Zenhearth on the team. Just, you know, max speed, max special attack. Crystal Spikes hurt bad. And that would be faster paced too. Problem is, it really just doesn't do half of something's health, which is what I want it to be able to do. Half health on a neutral hit. It can do it after setup, and I guess it would have some synergy with Shellland, where if it gets Welcomer, it can get a Madness buff and then one-shot stuff. I don't know. Still gonna have to play around with it. I keep thinking that Earths are gonna be some of my biggest counters. Namely, oh come on. Come on, Funky. Okay. I'm banning Hedgen this time. Hedgen just gives me too many problems. It's faster than my whole team is guaranteed to get hits off. Completely stops Munko from existing. Okay, I calced my 2-wire and Chromion combo to kill a max HP Volphy. so we're gonna try it. We are so gonna try it. Amphitheater. Maybe it handcuffs Volphy into a faster T-strike. Oh, we're gonna try it. Like, who cares? Maybe he just doubles into the Chromion anyways, and then it ends up being a 2-wire for Chromion trade. Oh, if Inky gets banned, my token matchup is really bad, so I think I have to ban that. I still have a couple melees left against... Well, Zyzer is at least ban bait. I still have a couple options against Valash. I gotta be real careful against Momo, though. My whole team's so squishy, a knockback would probably one-shot almost any of them. It would definitely one-shot Orphil. Alright. I have to be wary of... Do I have to be wary of Sanby? I have 4 things that hit super effective. But one of them's 2-wire. Okay. Marbles is a nice chip. Hello, Argon. Welcome. He could swap in Sanby for the bait to prevent me from Venom spreading, but then he takes a super effective Faraday cage, so... click buttons. It is a handcuffs. Is my 2-wire faster than his Amphitheater? It is not. So that is just bad speed tiering. Really, really unfortunate speed tiering. My 2-wire is max speed 272. And I lose the game now, because it was handcuffs Volphy, and his Amphitheater outsped me. Well, we'll try and see if he swaps in Sanby here. If he does, I just forfeit. Yeah. GG's, Funky. Oh, he swaps in Momo. Okay. Gotta go cam with 2-wire if you don't have turbo or fast charge. But the whole point is to bait people. Kaleidoscope? Are you serious? Oh my goodness, yeah, I'm getting so destroyed right now. Okay. I feel like every time I face Funky, I learn something new about his team. He's he runs a very similar team, and for like every single patch, but he changes up items and gears and sometimes even speed tiers. And so, like on his Sandby this patch, he's got Cage and Rush, which got me yesterday, and today he's got Kaleidoscope, Handcuffs, and speed tiering. On the bright side, my only 2 losses today have been to Funky. On the downside, that means that Funky kind of just ruins my team. And I have to probably refine it quite a bit further if I was to use this in any sort of competitive setting. Also, yeah, I'm gonna swap this for camo. I mean, Chromion would have taken the double in then. It could have lived. The other option is actually that I just put Fake Beard on it. Because you don't get handcuffs from Fake Beard, but any other single status applied would do it. So if there was like a Tolkien with Burn, that would be bad. It's hard to say. We'll try this for now. How far up in Legend is Funky anyways? 13. Surprised I'm not boosting him further. I swear it's not intentional. It's like a 0 bulk 2-wire. You know, it has some bulk, just not a lot. It's not meant to do a whole lot. You stay on the board a lot. Plus, after 2 turns, it normally wants to swap out, so we can get Common Factor up later anyways. If I was to put more stamina in it, I would have to remove the little bit of HP I put in, the damage, which helps me combo with Volphy and kill it, or the speed, which helps me to make my entire rest of the combo faster. Dinkelberg. It's very interesting to see Naga on this team. It makes me think that it's actually Water Custodian, probably with high pressure water. So far I've found that Hedgen is a big problem for my team. It makes me lean towards Sypat just a little bit more. Man, I still want to lead or fill Chromion, but that's just not going to work. So we'll do 2-wire Chromion. Okay. Gyalis and Tolkien both look problematic. I think I ban Tolkien. Yeah, because Inky gets value against Nagais. And even Hazrat to an extent. So what tanks Faraday into... Do I really want to use microwaves? I guess he could swap in Hazrat to eat the Toxic Kid if I don't. Well, this is the first game where I'm actually going to get to click Zyzer, so that's cool. Gotta stop gambling so hard with V-Spread. Well, if I stop gambling, then what's the fun in it? Besides Nagais, I mean, Venmet's just going to be the better option here. Like, I'm okay losing. I'm having fun. This team is a lot better than yesterday's. Like, I think I'm even okay if he swaps in Hazrat and eats the microwaves or the Faraday, because then I can just turbine him next turn. Or the V spread, yeah, eats the V spread. Hello, senpai, welcome. Ooh, that's pretty tanky. I'm not sure if this kills. It does after the toxic tick, but I have to eat a double in now. Who's Venom spread for it? It's just for a ton of damage turn 1. The goal is to double in and kill something before it gets an attack off. If I had max attack on this 2-wire, I think that would have been enough. But I do not. I do not have that much attack. More than 2x microwaves? In this specific situation, you're correct, yeah. Now, why would I not swap Inky in here? Because Nagais doesn't have a turn 1 water move. Yeah! 2-wire putting in work. Turbo on the Grandpa, so he actually called my bluff. Interesting. I see somebody in the stands. I'm actually not familiar with who that is. Maybe somebody had a costume change. Somebody in the stream. Hello. Hypno onto the Inky. That sucks a little bit, but I think I can still manage. Actually, I'm actually kind of running out of options here. If I swap out the 2-wire, I get some more space later. Problem is he just turbos again, so his Gialis is faster than my Inky. So honestly, I'm just waiting for the Grandpa to run out of stamina. That's what it is. Not enough stamina on Grandpa to win? Yeah. There's a turbo. If he double gashes Inky, I actually... No, he does attack to Venmet. Okay. I think I should be good now. Yeah, that grandpa was never surviving that. Like, if Venmet gets its hits off, it is insane how much damage it can deal. Problem is getting those hits off. Just sludge gift this guy. Yeah. Base speed Gallus +2. It still outspeeds, so that's what. It still dies. GG's. It's 2 wins in a row, so I finally have feathers. Didn't know what those were like yesterday. Okay. I mean, Zyzer, like, it got a kill, but anything would have gotten one in that at that point, so didn't really do anything there. Venmet did some stuff though. But more than anything, his grandpa just ran out of stamina. Please don't be funky, please don't be funky, please don't be funky. Yes, not funky. Let's see, what did I learn last time? I won last time. I know I won last time. I'm just trying to think of what I learned. I think it was a slower 2Kai. We don't know what it clicked, but my Inky outsped and killed it with T-Strike. I think there was some speed invest on the Sandbee. Was this the one? It was Reactive Vial Osakai. Jim is slow and bulky. That's right. That's good information. We'll do it your way this time, Kip. We'll do it your way. The other thing is, I don't have any speed on this Chromion, or not a lot at least. So I'd still have to eat a hit if I don't Venom Spread. Kinda feels bad. So I could just give up the Toxic Chromion, do a different Chromion, and actually invest speed. That would work. And I mean, it would probably be the smarter thing to do. If I just change Chromion to Electric, swap out either Zyzer or Venmet for Mimit, and like, ta-da! Team's probably better. I don't like Scarable. Probably bans another one of my melees. A fire for crystals. I see your point. I have to kindly disagree. Yeah, because now my only electric synergy is poof, gone. I could have like a, you know, a max speed, half full Scaravolt. It gets +2 to everything. Multipuncture Scara, that's 3 prio. It is, that's funny. It's so bad, but it's funny. Really, why didn't he take the Bobo there? That was one of his best things to do with Munko. Whatever, I'm not complaining. Probably gonna take a real short break after this match. Just grab some water. Alright. Yeah, so once again, he's got 2 things that get hit hard by microwaves. So the smarter thing to do is to click the digi move. Ugh. Okay. Swaps and Chim and it has bait. It's still safe if I click microwaves, because then I won't waste a turn on Venom Spread. Which is what happens. ABH. Dealing more to 2-wire than it does to Chromion. Here we see the bait. If I can take out 2-Kai... If I can take out 2-Kai, then Munko really doesn't have any counters. Orphil? Yeah, Orphil looks really nice after 2-Kai's gone, so does Munko. If Tornado plus Glassblade kills, that would be bad. Looks like he didn't click Glassblade though, he would have outsped my 2-wire. Max attack plus 2 Scaravolt damage. Yikes. Barely a third to Psypat. 346 speed to reach 306 with 3 prio. Much as I'd love to click Turbo Attack here, Osakai has prio, Sambi will have prio after it's on the field for 1 turn. And who knows if Shell Ant has hook or not. Sambi damage is good? Yeah. Yep, definitely. But that also means that it has hold off on transient, and Munko doesn't like that. At this point, I really wish I had token over hook. I have to take out Sanby. Oh, he hooks. Does he attack the Orphil too? No, he does attack the Munko. Oh, his dozing hit! Oh, man. Oh, that's game. Yeah. GG's. If I could have one-shot that Sambi with another Nox Bomb, I would have just done that, but I couldn't tell if I would or not. He's got so much stuff in the back, there's no chance. Yeah, it lives on 1 health after the hook. Big rip. So that's the disadvantage of using a team like this, is I don't have the prio options. And even something like Sambi with minimal to no speed investment still outspeeds because prio exists. And it's still tanky, and it still has one of the highest attack stats in the game. So I'm definitely going to swap Hook for Token now. It also saves me a bit of stamina, so that'll be good. Token. Token also beats Wookle. I don't think I outspeed it though. I don't know max speed Koish offhand. Plus I feel like they would just double ice cubes, but I could be wrong. 272. It's the same as Chromion, huh? Alright, well like I said, I will be right back. It'll just be like a minute or two and then I'll queue back up. Okay, back as promised. Another thing about the local teams is that I have double toxic, so I don't think they're too bad. Once again though, in the last match, those Venmet not putting in a whole lot of work. Actually, before I queue up again, I'm gonna change it for Saipat to see how it goes. Saipat. I still like Shinobi tactics. Nox Bomb. Nicho, not Nito. I don't even know if I really need ninja as the last slot. We'll go with it anyways. Just steal my Saipat spread from here. 197, 57. And then don't forget to put the Schween's Horn on it. You really run some Digilayers for Saipat. Should be an easy one. It's like 100% spawn rate. Just be good to not have to pay for the egg moves. Maybe I'll do that later today. Pretty much got all of today and most of tomorrow off. It's kind of his relaxed days. Who knows? Might even have a double stream. Who knows? Like, just today. We'll see how I'm feeling later. Now that I have Saipat, Hedgen's not like a must ban. What did you miss? Just swapped out Venmet for Saipat is all. Yep. Why am I running? I'm so used to doing radars in Psypark that my habit is to run rather than to just kill the stupid Broccolums. Yeah, even adding Saipat, like I still only have triple electric weakness, ignoring 2-wires type chart. Because 2-wire, whenever it comes in, it always has. Always has whatever it's called. Common factor. You guys been? I've been doing great. Had a week vacation for most of the week, and today, or yesterday, I got back and just kind of hanging out, playing some Temtem. Because it's the game I find the most enjoyable. It's cold there. Really? We've had pretty high temperatures where I'm at. Like I could throw like numbers in like 90s or even 100s, but like for some people that's still cold. Where'd I go? I went down to Cincinnati. Went to the zoo, like the went to a couple Dave and Buster's. I love arcades. The Arc exhibit. The we played Top Golf. Did a whole bunch of stuff. It was fun. I'm queued up, right? Yeah. Nice. Sometimes I just get really quick queues, and other times it takes a couple minutes. And as soon as I ask, boom, queue. Chaotico. Alright. Interesting. Legend today? I mean, might get back up there, but so far I'm win-lose, win-lose. Ninjasil's just really tanky, but it's not like super threatening. Azeroth, kind of the worst thing here. Hi, Sniff. I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but hello, welcome. Any beginners guys up to date? Are you asking for more like you just got to the end game? Are you like you just completed the story and you're wondering where to go? Are you talking more like getting through the story, like best thing to help out? Beginner's guide just purely for PvP? What's she kind of looking for? I could probably guide you in the right direction if I know that much. Not focused on PvP? Okay. Are you finished with the story still? Like, or are you still running through it? I like two-wire. Shell lamp probably would have been good too. Slow on story, but thinking of a rematch team. Okay, so not that you have to, but I would recommend spending as little Pansun or as few Pansuns as possible during the story. If you don't spend any Pansuns during the story, I think you end up with like upwards of 200,000. Your first rematch team, you probably should look at just getting all green, like stat SV Tems. And those will go from like anywhere from like 1 to 10k each. If you're wondering about which kind of rematch team to build, I know that B Flattened has one for like last patch or a patch or two ago. You could check out his. And there's also one by it's Saga, but I think his YouTube is just Legacy Temtem or something. And his is a bit of an older guide. It focuses on Shuin, Tataru, and Rage, but it's still a really solid team even though it's old. Rematches haven't changed a whole lot as far as how they work over time. Yeah, they've only changed a couple move sets and like some spreads around a little bit. Move flank, Valash, Hedgen, Oshiara, Kinu, Mashuk. That all sounds pretty good. Mashuk's a bit out of place if you're just looking for some stuff to round out. Mashuk is a little out of place. Normally Mashuk is used kind of almost as a support, but also a defensive pivot. Kind of fits both, but it's usually for physical teams, and that team looks primarily special. Volfi is ridiculously strong in this patch. You could look at that. It's super free. A lot of the 2i evolutions are really good. Tolkien, super strong. Just great to start out with. You could even go with like a Quetzaleno user, something like Raiken, because you have double neutral. I would say look at adding a second fire type if you can. Might be bait Oshiara. I was looking at killing the Tolkien anyways because I have Inky and Orphil in the back. Bigger problem is if it's bait Tuvine, or if it's like Camo Ukama or something. Ah, dang. Fiery Soul. Wolfie instead of Mashuk, that's definitely a good option. It's not necessarily required or anything though. Oh, still takes it down. So it's worth noting my 2-wire is faster than the Oshiara. Super slow Oshiara? I mean, it's just lower than 272, but you're right, that is pretty slow. Be back with more questions later? Awesome, glad to help. If you're on the main Discord too, there's also some people that, like, the community is really great. Just stay out of comp chat. Stuff with like Temtem spoilers would be great for you, I'm sure. I need Chromion for anything else? Not particularly. Kill the Inky counter. Well, not only is it the Inky counter, but it's also the Orpheal counter. Problem is that I don't deal like any damage to it right now. Like Turbo Attack does less than 30% to this 2-Vine. Still, you're right. No, does exactly 30%. Chromion is bulky, but it is not bulky enough. Live a Turbine? I do. 1 health. Oh, more like 2 or 3. But yeah, I made sure to calc. But, that is a fast Ukama. And if this is, yeah, now that's a problem. Nope. I'm still faster. He Feather Gatling instead of Turbined. Well, this will be interesting. Monko has to live a Water Blade plus a Turbine. Well, actually, I don't really know how this endgame's gonna go. Dang it, I should have microwaves. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was gonna Water Blade. Yeah. Dang it. Any amount of chip on that 2-Vine, I would have won for sure. And I know my Monko was faster than his... I know my Monko was faster than his 2-Vine too, so I should have just used priority, I would have been fine. But the problem was, if he clicked CPG and I clicked harmful microwaves, then I would not have killed his 2-Vine, and he could have one-shot my Inky. So then the other option was to ignore the Oshiara, but then if it used Serbs and then Water Blade, he still would have won. So it was a very difficult situation. I had to predict what he would do on both Tems, and I guessed... No, I ran away again. And I guessed both wrong. There's a lot of games that end up in coin flips. no matter what, especially against high-ranking players, because they know what the best options are, and in the end, it's just picking which one you want to go for. He chose right and I chose wrong. I guess I fell into the green circle trap. Kind of curious what that OCR spread is, though. Because it was really slow, but it still did tons of damage. It must have been like max special attack and just sacking speed for the HP instead. So instead of going like the triple 300 spread, it was something else. Oh, I see. It's use. Wait, why didn't it work? You're the one in the goofy outfit. I mean, I've never gotten real into the like house decorating or character customization, but it is really cool that they do have a lot of options for that. Some that they didn't have to do in a game like this. Keener's still a good support. It is in slow stall teams. From what your team looks like a faster team that just kind of wants to kill stuff. So something. I'm not sure if you come from a Pokemon background or anything, but in Temtem you don't normally want to mix supports in with an offensive team. Alright, so apparently there's not a lot of people on during this time of day, but I mean, we're at least finding matches relatively quick because the people that are on are queuing quite a bit. So we're 1-1 with Juan so far. Maybe Nagase instead of Kinu. Yeah, Nagase really doesn't fit either. Nagase is basically used purely for Decidora right now until it gets changed. And Water Custodian, it's just littered with type weaknesses. It wouldn't be real easy to play. Team review? Alright, I'll get to that after this. I haven't thought about this pick ban at all. Just bye-bye Hazrat. I should swap out Zyzer. I haven't got to use it like more than once and it just doesn't do anything. So far I've somehow been losing against mentals, which is weird. Which mental is good instead of Kinu and a Geist for you? I think Sambi's really good. You don't need to fit every type on your team. Yeah, Sambi would be good. I could have toxic. I could have toxic ink on the side pat too. Oh, that's funny. That is really funny. Why didn't I think of that earlier? I'm getting rid of Ninja Jutsu after this game. Okay. Monko's good. Orphil's kind of meh. But it'd be good against Babwa if he brings it. I think I just bring 2-wire for now. Here's the thing with Venom spread on with the side pack combo is I don't get Center Typer, which sucks. Might not be that great. Oh no. I can try swapping out Zyzare for another electric for synergies after this. Half full Scaravolts, okay. Now it's actually threatening. I was kind of expecting it to be Good Friend. Because I wouldn't be able to double into Shelllant if it was Good Friend, because one of them would go into the evasion right now. Saipat's nice to Wallow Sakai and Shelllant, so he'll probably target that with the Scaravolt and then just deal some chip to Chromion. Orphil's not in any particular danger here. Plus that gives me Center Typer bonus. I mean, Orphil probably dies to the Soul Shout T-Strike if he doubles into the slot, but that's okay. Ooh, look at that damage. He just doubles into the Chromion, that's fine too. Shellant's pretty ignorable on this board. It can hurt Orphil, but like I said, I don't really need Orphil for anything. But I really needed some damage on this Scaravolt that he's probably going to swap. But the Scaravolt's going to have to stare down side pad at some point. He does not like having Sambi take hits here. Orphil's fine. Venomous Claws I hopes takes out Sambi, but if it doesn't, that's going to be really bad. It seems super tanky. But I am not confident that... Oh, good. I was not confident that I would outspeed using a neutral speed move. Kesugatame, good move, that hurts really bad. However, since Saipad's so fast, it doesn't help his Scaravolt outspeed, which is really important. Osakai is just kind of whatever here. I was expecting a swap, but I couldn't risk not attacking the Scaravolt. I guess I could have clicked Nicho and Hypnosis and I would have been fine, because I live the hook here. But the Chimerian was bait, so the Hypno wouldn't have actually done anything. Yeah, there's the bait. Bunch of those guys as eggs, but they're missing some egg moves. Oh, I kept being nice. I'm not confident that Saipat can live a T-Strike from Scaravolt, which worries me. Because if he doubles into the Munko slot, I would rather click Venomous Claws here so I can get a second attack off on the Scaravolt. He might even have E-Storm, which would ruin me entirely. I know some opt just for more fire moves, like Ember's Meteor Swarm with the physical set. Look, kill Saipat after E-Storm. Yeah, I think I have to try for the double in. Nope, no, not a chance. Yikes. Super duper duper bulky Scaravolt. He did E-Storm, so... Yep, no chance. Funny enough, I've actually been considering reset on my 2-ire, and if I had that here, I think I could win. Because he just hooks Saipat now, and then just hits Osakai, or hits 2-ire with anything. So funny enough, I don't pick the Zyzare, and the Zyzare would have been the best thing for me. Yeah, because if I could wipe this Osakai's buffs right now, and it OX'd huge, I could probably just finish it off with a turbo attack. Maybe Inner Spirit doesn't kill. Copium, it's, yeah, very Copium. My 2-ire has very little bulk. This thing kills me twice over. It may have even killed, even if I did wipe its buffs. I think we're gonna try the reset though, just for fun. Reset on Munko instead. I like having a priority damage option on Munko. Wire really doesn't click Feather Gatling. Gonna look at electric types, see if there's something good I could do. Oh, no, I gotta do a team review. Okay. See a lot of good stuff here. That is a lot of stamina on Tyrannac. And I guess the speed, so you're not scared of Nagais at all. Lots of defense investment. I don't... I think you'll want some sort of healing on this team. I would definitely swap Sandstorm for Lifeless Sap, and then swap this to Kaleidoscope. That gives your Nox more room to work with, because it can madness buff, get a Lifeless Sap, and then swap out. Platamus, yep, Kip, you're right. I would always run Sweatband on Platamus when it's available. Crazy good item. Although I'm not even sure if Platamus is that great on this team. You have triple bird, triple toxic, so you actually get ruined by winds. Like you're forced to ban 2 Vine every time you see it, and then you just hope that they're not running another wind with that. You kind of want an electric. You could honestly run like the half-full Scaravolt. And with the Kaleidoscope, you can get healing on it. That could be good. I guess you wanted the Toxics for the Faraday synergy with 2-wire. I think that combo is a little... I feel like if you don't have much of a purpose with the combo, you shouldn't force so much of your team around it. It seems kind of like a bonus thing. If you're running like Mashuk with P-Jab, and you're able to lower defense, so you get more value with your Faraday, then it's alright. But I'm not even a huge fan of P-Jab because it just turns 3-hit KOs into 3-hit KOs. Because you're still spending a P-Jab and attack, and you still need one more attack to finish stuff off. So I'm just not sold on that. Plus, this team actually has a pretty good defensive type chart. So 2-wire I don't even think is essential here. Like, you have Tyrannac with 1 weakness, Volphy with 1 weakness, Nox with 1 weakness, Vulcan with 2. So I don't think... I think the Nullify status is actually working against you here. Plus with Intimidator Tyrannac, I guess you can run some shenanigans by blocking your own common factor on purpose. I still think that's kind of working against you. It seems like, I guess, the team's kind of trying to do multiple things at once. Because you have like a mid-range... If I had the 2-wire still here, you have a mid-range Toxic core, where you're just trying to tank hits and get Toxic ticks. Then you almost have like a raid boss thing going on here with Nox. Because like no offense or no speed Nox isn't going to be doing anything on the board except madness buffing. It's not something people are going to be scared of. I mean, that's what you got the Diabolo for on Tyrannac. I would add another raid boss or 2 on the team. I'd almost argue for Diamond Fort over Nox Bomb on Tuvine. That makes it have the possibility of being a raid boss if it gets ignored. And then if you drop these two, like, Odoro's more or less a raid boss. You could almost use some sort of, like, buffing. Oh, how's the type chart look? Type chart's fine. You have so many times with good defensive types. Momo? Yeah, Momo would be a good option. Gotta be careful of Tyrannac Momo boards, though, because Momo loses a lot of its damage with Intimidator. Yowler's not nearly as good as it used to be. What other raid boss? Like, an electric raid boss would be good. So, like Scaravolt, honestly, it would probably be a decent choice. But then you end up with triple fire, so it's kind of sketch. You could try a raid boss Amphitheater. I haven't given that a try in a while, but it has some potential. Not particularly weak to melees. It's kind of hard to say. It's like I want to turn this into more of a stallier team, and maybe even throw Extinction on this Tyrannac instead of Meteor Swarm. Because if it's going to be on the board that long with that much stamina, you get value that way. But that's completely optional. Probably have to change its item then too. Could stay Intimidator since Frightening doesn't work long enough for talismans to get turned off. Yeah, winds. You're getting countered by winds. Grinder would be alright. Actually, yeah. Get another Toxic then. Could just swap Grunder in for your Platamus in the initial team. Because Brimation Paralyzing Poison actually has a lot of potential. You have double Toxic synergies too, so you can get the extra poison turns, which is nice. Counters wins. Valash good. You end up getting 3 melee weakness then, which is kind of bad. Not exactly optimal. Consider a water in here. Like, honestly, Shween wouldn't even be bad in the last slot. Because you can get the water cannon synergy with 3 of these, be able to have Quartz Shield and Fluid Barrier to buff up your team. You're not weak at all on the nature side, it's just the melees you gotta watch out for then. But even melees, Shween can live 1 hit and then hit back with the water cannon synergy with Toxic Ticks, and it's really nice. I mean, Shween struggles a bit with its moveset now. I think you just go back to Crystal Bite like it used to be. And then yeah, just ban melees, and I think you'd be alright. Biggest thing, like, you could still watch out for wins. Double Toxic plus 2 more wins, but I don't know. I think this is decent. I don't think it's the best thing ever. But I wanted to keep the majority of the team together without completely ruining it. Another direction you could have taken it instead is put in a 2-2. You had 4 birds. And probably you could have slipped a melee in there as well. Just some options to play around with. I wouldn't put anything too fast on there. The other thing is I looked at your token spread. It almost seems really fast for the team. I would definitely bring it down to 221 speed, at least. Because it's already the fastest thing on your team. And you're still able to burn like Ukamas and Oshiaras. So you can survive a hit if you need to. Yikes. Max HP, max special defense, Brock. Could even go slower on the Tolkien, just hit something like around 200. That gets a bit sketchy though. Maybe play around with your stam items too. I don't think Tyrannak needs Diabolo. I think having like a sweatband or a fake beard on it, or your bait, might give it better value. If then you don't have to run Extinction either. Could even just run Bark Shield on it. Bark Shield will help build up defensive stats as well for Nox. Should be nice. It's able to raise its own special defense with Madness buff. Getting a bit of a longer queue. Maybe we'll run into someone we haven't played today. I think I forgot to update my win rate. I think I'm actually 3-5. I think I got distracted though and I didn't change my own team. Still don't know what I actually want to change Zyzare for. It's like I still want another electric, just for more harmful synergy. That's not the easiest thing to fit on the team though. Okay. I'm facing another aggro team. This is definitely a faster, speedy team. Hazoret consistently... Like, I haven't let a Hazoret through yet. Maybe I guess I did let one through earlier. Maybe I should again. It's got double water for Lava Wave synergy. Kinda... Actually, if I ban the Nesla, that knocks out one of his microwave synergies, as well as one of his lava wave synergies. If I get the chance, I think I'm gonna pick 2-wire. And now that I think about it, Shawlant, this whole time, has just been ban bait. I really haven't gotten a lot of use out of it at all. I think I only got to play it like one game. It did do its job pretty well, I suppose. But like, it's doing its job just by being a red X. I'm not sure. I was really hoping this team would work a little bit better. So far, it just hasn't. That is a interesting lead. What do I even do with that? I guess I can't pick Orpho because they both resist Toxic, so I'm kind of forced into Chromion. I think it's a good baseline for the team, but I think I'm going to change a lot of stuff around. I think I'm gonna probably swap up the Chromion type. Don't resist anything in 2 hours world. Yeah, I guess I was thinking I got rid of Feather Galling, so my only turn one on 2 wires is only turn one on 2 wires Faraday's. And I wouldn't be able to attack Albion, but I could have doubled Hazrat because it wouldn't have gotten poisoned. So yeah, that was a silly oversight on my part. I might even throw Sandbee on here. Like a matter teleport, Sandbee actually does insane amounts of damage for a neutral hit. And then comboing it with a transient afterwards is really nice, and it has natural bulk that I wouldn't have to invest a whole lot. Psypat's good, scares Oshiara, hits both Munko and Volfi. Like I said, I might make this like a 2-part stream. Like call it after another match or two, go have lunch, take a little break, think about how to improve, and then come back this afternoon after I change some stuff. And then just see how it goes. Whatever, I'm just bringing these two. That way if I can reach more people too in different time zones. I'm sure there's some people still sleeping in. It's a Saturday in summer. Even though it's noon where I'm at in the US. I know multiple people that sleep until like 1 or so in the afternoon. Well, I said don't get out of bed until then. Okay. I switch Tolkien for Scaravolt. That is an option. But Tolkien is nice burn support to help. Like if you bring in, like I don't remember if the heater was Tolkien or the Tolkien was heater, but if it's not, it should be. Because if you lead heater Tolkien plus Nox, you can get a madness buff off, and both your opponents have to. Their damage is reduced. So. Just kind of another option for a lead if Volfi gets banned, because it's one of the most commonly banned Tems in the meta. Lunch token's great. Yeah, I don't specifically agree, but it's an option. DKS. Predicting a Psypat swap, I guess? Here's another situation. I didn't get to bring Inky, so I don't have my electric synergies. Ah. Only good 0 hold move. Other is E-Punch. Yeah, I guess Wastewater wouldn't have been a good option here. But I feel like most Zalbians I see run Wastewater, E-Punch, Turbine, and Cyberclaw, so. Because otherwise, if you don't bring double Prio, you're losing out on, well, Prio every turn. Selshiar's got it. Well, he does a lot, priority lava waves Chromion. You're right, Kip. You're right. was hoping I would live. Oshiara totally would have died. It would have 100% died. Should I help? No problem, senpai. Glad to help. Okay. Really shouldn't be ignoring the Hazrat this much. Hello, Analacho. Welcome. Try and hyper aggro out for a change. Not something I'm used to. But of course, it's still going to be goofy hyper aggro. Because I'm me, and I like playing goofy stuff. Let's swap the Oshiara. Goes for the Mimit. Oh, he double swaps. Not what I was expecting. I was really hoping he'd actually keep the Hazrat in. So that kind of sucks. Fighting focus members as always. This is the first focus member I've faced all day. Well, now we get to see if it's a max speed Mimit or not. My Orphil's not max speed, but it's pretty close. Probably is, just for like Zabian combos. Seemed really squishy. It's just, does it sack the offense or the stam for the speed? I'm not sure. Or offense or speed for the stam. That's, yeah. He is faster. Unfortunate. Really didn't want to have to take that damage. He just brings in Oshiara, and I can't really do anything against it. Oh, we see the Hazrat, okay. Scythe doesn't die to Water Plague, afraid of the swap. Fair. That's fair. My 2-wire outspeeds is Volphy. It's the only way he kills 2-wire here is if he swaps Volphy for Oshiara to get synergy with the Lava Wave. But I Nox bombed the Volphy slot, so that would kill Oshiara. And Oshiara is his best option against Munko, so 2-wire outspeed Volphy. Yeah, this is a max speed 2-wire. It's for Venom Spread shenanigans with Toxic Chromion. Because I can get a Sinner Typer Venom Spread off, which is actually a lot of damage, but not great in most situations. Wow, that killed! Well then, GG's. think I had him in a winning position that turn anyways. My side pat's not even amphibian. I prefer shinobi tactics. But yeah, the Oshara just doesn't have anything to finish me off in time. Even resisted, it takes so much. Alright. Kaboom. Now we're evening out our win rate a little bit. Forgot to swap Ninja for Toxic Ink on Saipat yet though. Not running Marshall. Well, I wasn't sure what to run in the Ninja slot. But I just decided I'm going to run Toxic Ink because that gives me another option to combo with Chromion. Yeah. There you go, triple Toxic Saipat and then a melee move. Sounds about right. Cryo for Volfies. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. But at the same time, Nox Bomb does just as much. Actually, Nox Bomb actually does more than Martial Strike to a Volfie. So the only time you would want to click it is if you're in range to die from Plague or double Prio. Or if the Volfie is low enough, but at that point, it would have to be in the range in between where it would die to Venomous Claws and Martial Strike. Like, Saipat, like, its fourth move slot is really flexible, so it can kind of fit whatever. But I can't be in favor of Martial Strike myself. Like, optimally against a Volfie board, you actually just double the other slot, and then Nicho the Volfie the second turn. But that's not always an option. And it's not like Nicho kills, so you need some sort of chip on the Volfie. So maybe Saipat just uses its really strong Nox Bomb on whatever slot the Volfie's not in, and then your ally just hits the Volfie for the chip damage, using a weaker move to save some stamina or something. Hard to say. The Volfie Saipat matchup is an interesting one. Nicho's good too. Yeah, I ran that when I was first testing Saipat for the interregional, or the invitational. But I decided that Ninja would be better. The defense drop really wasn't good enough, and the only time you're clicking Nito over Nicho, or Nito over Nox Bomb, is if you're facing a, I guess a water resist, or a crystal. Which I guess is actually quite a few things. So yeah, there's arguments for both. It's nice that a Tem has so many options. I think Saipat is one of the most balanced Tems in the game right now. It's really cool. I know Dino Dude in comp chat threw out just a discussion question yesterday about which Tem do you think is the most balanced? Like if the Tem was never touched again, do you think it would still see use in like 10 patches or something? My initial thought was Molgu. Because I think Molgu has like 3 really solid moves in Turbo, Faraday, and Cyberclaw, and then its last move is Flex, and it has a whole bunch of options. Stuff like Auto Destruction, Digi Threat, Plasma Beam, Cage, Rush, Blue Screen. So it can have a whole bunch of supportive options. I almost picked the middle team. Oops. But I mean, Psypat's also competing for that slot because it has the 3 solid moves of Nicho, Nox Bomb, and Venomous Claws, and then a 4th option of kind of whatever you want. It also has Kessa and 5 PPH as options. You think typical Turok, Tolkien, Volfi? I don't think those 3 are balanced at all. I do not think those are balanced at all. I guess my idea of balance is different than some people's, because I think you have to take into account their attempts, typing, and stats, and like everything about attempt for it to be completely balanced. Stuff like Volfi only has 1 viable trait, so it's not really balanced because everyone you see is going to be Team Elusive. Stuff like Tolkien, I guess technically it's balanced, but there's no other fighters that compete with it right now, so it's actually above the curve. Middle point with Riot. That's my idea. Yeah. Other people have different plans. I just realized it's the Grumper Broccolum combo. They cover each other's like offensive weaknesses super well. It's fun. I've run that many times before. Might have Drill somewhere because he didn't ban Shawland. Chromion and make him guess. That's what I was thinking, honestly. But I also have flexibility with Chromion. Please don't go move flank. That's actually really bad if he does. Dang it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I'm forced to go Psypat now. You say something like Sambi Molgu? Yeah. I was also considering Sambi. It's got 2 viable traits, has support options as well as its offensive ones. Auhi? I think Auhi could use a little something. I don't know what it is. I think Auhi needs a 4th move for its special set. Like, it has options, but all of them feel subpar. I'm not sure what it is. Like a 2-hold mental move offensively would be fantastic, I would say. That would really give Auhi a boost. I'm talking to you guys too much. I can't focus. No, that's a-okay with me. Yeah, this is gonna be my last game for now. Like I said, I might be back later tonight with another stream, just because I got the time, and I'd probably play anyways, so why not stream? I'm just gonna need a break to eat. Also, a buddy of mine just got on, so I might play another game with him until he heads to work. Really like his design, always want to play it, but it's hard to find a proper team. I agree. I've been trying to use it on a couple teams lately, but it just doesn't feel good enough. Its physical side, there's just better temps for Matter Teleport and Quetzal, and its special side just lacks power. Its hardest hitting move is Magma Cannon at 92 base power. I guess no, it's got Psy Surge for low prio, or horror, but I don't know. There's just options. And all of them are subpar. Okay. Okay. Does he swap? He probably swaps in Broccolum, right? I really wanted to Toxic Ink Venom spread. I'm gonna do it to a Mooflink instead. I just don't know what he's gonna swap into. He wants to Broccolum, so. Yep. This will be the better play. Monko's my best swap here. Happens to you pretty often that you talk too much and run out of time, yeah. It's a good thing though. Means you're having fun and able to interact with a lot of people. Really solid damage on Broccolum, and swapping in the Monko's good as well. Man goes down, but that's fine. It put in a lot of work. You call it Inky Board. I agree. I mean, it's actually really tempting to pick Psypad as well. But if you picked Babawa here, I would be in rough shape. I mean, nothing on his side wants to take a... He can't really swap. He kind of just has to eat it. He had to go 2-Vine? Ah, you're right. He did have to go 2-Vine. Because then he forces me to double the slot. I think this Monko might even one-shot 2-Vine. I think it'd be really close. Like, max special attack, Shaolin's Sensei Robe, Soul Shout. That's a lot of S's. I guess that's why we're playing Orphle. He's a snake. Okay, that's random. Some people like random stuff. It shouldn't. I think it's really close. I know some Broccolum builds I've gotten really close to getting one shot by Soul Shouts, and Monko should be faster than that, or stronger than that. Mine, yours doesn't get one shot? Okay. Probably doesn't then. Alright, well, just for fun to try it out, I'm actually gonna Bright Beam here and then Soul Shout, and we'll see if it was maybe would have gotten close. I have 0 special defense in my 2-Vines, so. Yeah, I think that would have killed. It looked like it still had a bit. I did less than 10% with Bright Beam, and it looked like it still had a bit of speed left of draining that health bar. GG's. Nice to end off the stream with a win. Started off with a win, end with a win. That's great. And I get re-promoted. Yay! Okay, like I said, I'm gonna call the stream here, and I might be back later. No guarantees, but I should be back at the very least tomorrow. So I'm gonna keep working on this team. I'm gonna think about some ways to improve it. I think it's fun. I enjoy it. I'll actually share the code because this is still in the early stages of it. If I modify it anymore, I probably won't share it again because I think this has potential to be something I use in a tournament. But I like to always share an early version of a team. And then maybe people see the changes I make and can try and fit it in on their own. But yep, that'll be all for me. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll see you all in the next one. Would it killed you with it? Okay. Yeah, see, it's really strong. Oh, you just got here, Laura Weaver? I'm sorry, but hey, for what it's worth, I'm planning on coming back later with actually a second stream today, so hopefully you can make it to that one. But yeah, that'll be all for now. The Bright Beam plus Soul Shot. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. See y'all. Bye-bye.